Hello, I'm Townsend. I'm joined by Tool, and we are in the Columbo podcast called Columbog. And we've decided to study the Columbo episode from season 2, A Stitch in Crime. I'm joined by Tool. Tool,
Hello.
what do you think of the episode as a whole, if you compare it to, say, other like villains? Obviously, we have a very famous actor in the lead villain role.
Absolutely, yeah, Leonard Nimoy, who was from Star Trek fame, What character did he play in Star Trek? I can't remember. McCoy, that's it.
Mr. McCoy.
Mr. McCoy, he was the engineer, wasn't he? That's right.
He was, yeah. He was a Scottish engineer.
So who played the science officer then?
That was Uhura.
Oh, she played the science officer, right?
She was the Chinese woman.
And she was played by DeForest Kelley, is that right?
I think that's his niece.
Yeah, right, that's his. Oh, you see, I get so confused.
It's very confusing.
It's very, very confusing. Yes, yeah.
Sorry to our viewer.
One.
So we're going to talk about Columbo, honestly, and we are big fans of Columbo. And this particular episode stars, as we've said, Leonard Nimoy, and the episode begins in a very unusual way. It starts off with an ambulance, and the ambulance is on its way to the hospital. And what I found very bizarre about this episode is the doctor, who is Dr. Heidemann.
Heidemann.
Yeah.
Heidemann or Heidemann?
I think it's Heidemann or...
Heidemann?
Should we go Heidemann? Dr. Heidemann.
Dr. Heidemann. No, I tell you what, you go Heidemann, I'll go Heidemann.
We're doing both.
We're doing both, yeah. Dr. Hyman.
Dr. Hyman. Dr. Hyman is in the ambulance, and you think, oh, he must be a passenger. Like, no, he's on the stretcher.
Yep.
He's one of the world's leading heart surgeons.
Yeah.
And what really did my head in was like, is that how he gets to work? He has a heart attack.
Has a heart attack and gets to work that way. Yes, yeah.
They take him to because it must save him like money, like traveling, and like it has a heart attack. They pick him up in the ambulance because he's not riding to work in his car.
Is this when we meet what's her face from Forbidden Planet?
Anne Francis.
Anne Francis.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the lovely Anne Francis from the classic Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, I mean a big nod to Star Trek's Jim Roddenberry, because I think he was very influenced. I think he nicked all their ideas,
I think
basically.
He probably did, yeah. Well, don't forget, you've also got Walter Koenig as well.
We'll get to him later, yes.
That's right, yeah. But obviously, this is a very... Columbo it is a very sci-fi heavy show, if you think about it.
Lots of little Easter eggs. In fact, I tell you, there's a little Easter egg musically as well.
Yeah.
When Leonard Nimoy kills Anne Francis.
Don't spoil her, mate. Don't spoil. Oh, God, yes.
I think we're safe now.
Yeah, this is from 1974 or 19. I can't remember.
I doubt anyone's even watched this episode, but the
it's a classic.
It's one of the better ones, I think, from season 2.
1973.
Was it 73?
1973, yeah. Because the first Shatner one was 1976, I think.
That was season 6. That was the first episode.
Yeah, first episode of season 6, yeah. And of course, Shatner, he didn't reply just well. He was back again in the 1990s.
Couldn't get enough of him.
When he was he was the psychotic radio DJ. But anyways,
I really felt for him in that episode. I don't think he quite had the...
I'd never feel for Shatner, to be honest.
He just seemed angry.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because he's very cool. We'll go on to that episode soon.
Yes,
we're going to talk about Leonard Nimoy in this one.
In A Stitch in Crime.
But he is met by Nurse Sharon, Dr. Heidemann.
Yeah.
Dr. Hyman.
Dr. Hyman, yeah.
That's weird. They get him off a stretcher. They shove him onto a hospital bed, and he's like almost arguing with his hospital staff. Give me the stethoscope.
I'll do it myself.
This is how you... I'll have a go. Yeah, that's all right. I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I mean, I think Nurse Sharon, she's got, I think, a thing for older men.
I think she has, yeah. Although she hasn't got a thing for Leonard Nimoy, has she? Dr. Mayfield.
Yeah, she's like Nurse Sharon, could you just put these liquids in that jar? Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not talking to you.
Whatever.
Because your research is too soon. That's the sort of premise, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, a big zoom in for a letter.
Yeah,
it says, "Go wait a year, Spock."
Yeah, that's the motivation for murder because his research is going to. I mean, this guy is a doctor, for crying out loud.
But he's actually world's leading heart specialist.
Yes, yeah.
He's had a heart attack.
Yeah.
On the way to work.
Yeah.
Right, they drop him off there. That's why it doesn't make sense. It's like you wouldn't want this man operating on people's hearts if he's going to have a heart attack himself.
No, exactly. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
It's crazy because if you think about it, the whole premise, as you've just said, is he gets that letter and it says, "I'm sorry, Leonard, you're going to have to wait a year."
No, wait a year, Leonard.
He's probably got about 2 months to live.
Yeah, true.
Joe Biden looks more healthy than him.
Oh, no. Not that we're anti-Democrat or anti-Republican. We're not. For our US viewer out there, listener.
But we're anti-Hyman.
We're anti-Hyman. We're anti-Hyman.
So now we've got that out of the way.
No, women, we don't like your Hyman.
As you said, Nurse Sharon does not like Nimoy, doesn't trust him.
No, right from the get-go as well. This isn't sort of, it's not sort of introduced, as, if you think about it, Dr. Mayfield has been there for years, decades, in fact.
Ever since he finished Star Trek.
Yeah, ever since he finished Star Trek. So I mean, he's done his 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds.
Done that.
He's done that. Yeah. He's.
Actually, do you reckon they should have cast DeForest Kelly to play a doctor? And he just thought, I'm not going to be typecast for this.
Bones. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Leonard's rubbing his hands at that. A role where I haven't got to wear his stupid pointy ears.
Yeah.
Like everything I'm in, except for Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes.
Yeah, we played a villain in. Well, he sort of played. Well, obviously, because if you've seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers, he doesn't start out as a villain.
He starts off as a snatch. Mr. Snatch.
Mr. Snatch. Yeah. That's also Jeff Goldblum's in that as well, isn't he?
I think he's got a small role.
Well,
I can't remember too much.
Role because he's. Why are we talking about Invasion of the Body Snatchers? See, it's sci-fi.
He plays the Fly.
Yeah, plays the Fly. Yeah, Columbo is pure sci-fi. Columbo is sci-fi. Do you think Columbo is a holodeck in Star Trek?
I think Anne Francis has probably got one of those rooms to put Dr. Hyman in.
Yeah.
Recreate.
I'm going to find out this doctor. You carry on talking. I'm going to find out this doctor's name.
I think it's Heidemann or Heidemann.
Heidemann. Yeah, let's have
Heidemann.
Sorry, viewer, listener.
Sorry, he or she can wait. I'm sure they've got no time at all.
But yeah, I mean, because again, the backstory to Dr. Mayfield is he's been there for decades. Obviously, he's done his exploring strange new worlds, etc. We know that, and then all of a sudden, Anne Francis has said, "Oh, I don't like him. I don't like him."
Yeah, she gets very suspicious because of that letter that's supposed to be from Mr. Hyman.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, we should have got that an hour ago."
I'm still looking. Keep talking.
Is it Dr. Hyman?
Keep talking. And Francis's Nurse Sharon. Yeah.
Yeah, she's from Forbidden Planet.
Heidemann. Played by Will Gear, of course.
Mr. Will Gear, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Famous grandfather of Metal Gear.
Yes, yeah. Solid Snake, absolutely.
Because that's the weird thing. Because he then dresses himself for work.
Yes.
After having a heart attack.
Absolutely, yeah.
Talking about heart specialist stuff to Spock.
It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it. So, speaking of which, Columbo Day. We must remember Columbo Day. Columbo Day, we celebrate the death of Peter Falk.
We celebrate it every day,
and
actually.
All of us, it's the one day of the year where everyone around the world is allowed to smoke a cigar.
Have chili.
Yeah, have chili. A bowl of chili and a cigar. So let's find out the exact date, because I can never remember when he died.
I remember when it happened. I actually had bought the entire box set.
Weren't we in Wolverhampton? Wolverhampton is a city in
England.
England, yeah, for all you people that don't know the world.
Yeah, like it's a part of the West Midlands.
Yes,
and we were devastated.
We were devastated that day, weren't we? Yeah, 23rd of June. That's it. Yeah, 20th. I should know that.
Well, we're gonna have cigars.
I've celebrated it every year.
We're gonna bring the kids. Yeah. You can all have a cigar each.
Yeah.
And forget the chili. Just have some cigars.
I mean, don't you think really that I won't say every single episode of Columbo, but in virtually every single episode of Columbo, there's no way any of his cases would stand up in a modern court of law.
No,
It just
it's entrapment. Most of them.
Yeah, most of them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, witness coercion and things like that.
Here's the evidence.
Here's
I'm going to
evidence,
prosecute you with.
Yeah, I've got it in my brown bag. You see,
All my fingerprints all over
yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah. The dog is more of a detective than the actual proper detective that we know these
The
days.
Basset Hound.
The Basset Hound, yeah, the Basset Hound, yeah. What a wonderful character the dog was. Well, what's the name of your dog? Well, I don't know. I just call him
good
Dog.
dog.
I call him Dog.
But yeah, he's had a pet dog. He's had has he had any other pets?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But don't forget. The dog is. I mean, a lot of people dispute this. Because they say
it's a cat.
It's a cat. Yeah, it's not canon. But Mrs. Columbo, again played by Catherine Janeway,
from Voyager.
From Voyager, yeah. And in the first episode, one of the guys she speaks to is Odo from Deep Space Nine.
You know what? I actually fell asleep through the first episode.
So did I? Because
I have no idea Odo was in it. Yeah, would he morph into a Basset Hound or something?
Probably did. Yeah, but the dog is mentioned. Does the dog? See, that's the thing. I haven't watched Mrs. Columbo. I've watched Columbo, obviously, but Mrs. Columbo, I don't. I mean, I know there was at least a series of Mrs. Columbo. I know that.
I think they had a short run of episodes. I had episode 1 as an extra on a CD and DVD.
Yeah.
It was like one of those things you get free of a newspaper, and it was just awful.
It was awful.
I don't know how it ended. I think I stopped watching halfway through.
It's almost like they said Columbo's not good enough, but Murder, She Wrote is brilliant. So let's do our own version of Murder, She Wrote with Mrs. Columbo.
It's like She-Hulk all over again.
Don't even. I mean,
anyway, actually, we're going a bit too off topic.
We're going very off topic, aren't we?
Back to A Stitch in Crime.
Stitch in Crime, yes, yeah, with Anne Faris.
And she has suspicions, especially during a serious operation.
She does, doesn't she? Yeah,
Dr. Heidemann.
Yeah, it's the suture, isn't it? She sort of.
Once the operation's finished, she has that kind of look, and then she looks down and she finds some black pubes.
That's right, black pubes. That's right.
And she looks at Leonard,
which have been painted because they're a different colour. You see,
and Leonard was like, "Hang on, my pubes are grey.
yeah.
I've dyed them black.
Yes,
I want my pubes back." And she's like, "No, you can't have them.
No, can't have them.
I'm going to call Mac." And she writes on a little piece of paper, Mac.
Yeah, because
call Mac.
Because at this stage in the show, no murder has been committed at all.
It's going to happen in her head.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but
she's planned the murder herself.
But Columbo appears anyway. But he's a murder detective.
No, but he does appear because this is the next bit of plot. What happens is poor nurse Susan is leaving the hospital, and our villain
by the car. Yes, yeah.
Gets the tire iron.
Tire iron. That's right. Yeah.
First murder weapon, and this is a nice little sci-fi little nod. First of all, he whacks her over the head, and she's dead. That's it.
First of all,
that's for starters. Then he.
It's a great show.
It's for the kids. And then he doesn't.
No.
Then he gets keys out the bag, and it's the keys to her apartment. She's got a flatmate.
Flatmate, that's right. Yeah.
We'll move on to her. Her name, I've got it here somewhere. It's where is it now? Because she's an idiot, wherever she is. I can't remember. I've got it written somewhere, but we'll come up to her later. But the thing is, you get this kind of very sinister music. He goes, whoa, 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 ching, ching, ching.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 ching, ching, ching. And you know that, ching, ching, ching. You know the Klingon music in the first Star Trek motion picture. It's the same.
Well, yeah. Sorry, Klingon viewer out there who is listening in.
If you've never seen Star Trek, this will mean absolutely nothing. But that piece of music I thought was very sci-fi.
Very sci-fi. Again, Columbo has got to be a holodeck. It's got to be a holodeck simulation. It's got to be.
I mean, poor Susan is sort of dead now, but she was great. She was great in the episode. Very strong character. I'll tell you one thing, for her age at the time, because she was doing movies in the 50s.
She was. That's right. Yeah. But of course, as as happened in the time. You know, time got on and she got less and less work.
Oh, she still looked great,
Yeah,
though.
she still looked great, didn't she? Yeah.
But she was suspicious of Spock all the way through.
All the way through. Yeah, right from the start. It's like, okay, all right.
But the one thing is, actually, which you could tell, like, Leonard Nimoy, or so Dr. Mayfield.
Yeah.
I remember when he was doing the surgery and the suture, that kind of stuff, it sort of crept in my head. But you could tell he was losing his cool, and you went, Sponge. Sponge!
Yeah.
No, I thought he said Spock.
Spock, yeah.
And I thought, wouldn't it have been amazing if Gene Roddenberry thought, we've got a character for you, Mr. Sponge.
Mr. Sponge.
The Search for Sponge.
Yeah.
The movie. Yeah, I actually think that when he said Sponge, all the actors around him were thinking, did he just say Spock?
Probably, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he just
probably.
says Sponge.
Star Trek trivia. Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan was actually going to be called Star Trek 2, The Undiscovered Country.
Really?
Yes, it was. Yeah. But
didn't know that.
Yeah, but apparently the guys behind it didn't like the title. So
that explains why they changed it.
They
then.
changed it. Yeah. Well,
We don't like the title, but we're
don't
going
like
to
the
keep
title,
it.
Yeah. But they changed the title to The Vengeance of Khan.
Oh, that's crap.
But well, see, here's the thing. You see, because it was at the same time as what was going to be called Revenge of the Jedi. They were like, oh, we can't call it The Vengeance of Khan because it's too close to Revenge of the Jedi.
And Revenge of the Nerds, which
Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah, exactly.
the year before.
Absolutely. Oh, great film, Revenge of the Nerds.
I hadn't seen it for a while. I remember the second one, barely.
Was that the? Hang on, it was.
Sorry to our listener. We will talk about Columbo shortly.
Yeah. But wasn't Revenge of the Nerds the one with the in the sports field, or was that the first one? See, again,
Wasn't that Porky's?
Was that Porky's?
I can't remember.
Oh, well, they're all the blooming
It's
same.
a blur.
Yeah.
It's like the American version of the Carry On films, just
Yes.
like X-rated.
Yeah.
Except for the latter Carry On films, which we'll
anyway,
discuss later.
Columbo.
So yeah, Anne Francis is dead.
Yep.
And then we get the weird music, and then along arrives at last our detective.
Who is it? Who's the detective?
Columbo.
Oh, hi, how you doing?
He's a bit rough.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Have you noticed as well in the first sort of series he was always with it and very sort of this, that and the other, but for comedy effect as the series went on he kept getting more and more tired in the morning.
Oh, he was all over the place in
yes.
this one. He's like, so rough, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because in that in the first season it was like, yeah, I'm with it. I mean, because remember in the very first episode he got angry at the end.
Yeah, he used to get volatile with the villains.
It was the first two, wasn't it?
He does with Leonard Nimoy as well. He loses his rag right at the end.
Yeah, it goes boom, doesn't he? He slams that.
I know it was you.
I know it was you.
But he wants on the crime scene. He's a bit all over the place because he's really rough, and he's got I don't remember this, but he's got it's like a cast iron egg. That he's brought to the crime scene. Yes. He hits it on the car.
Hits it on the car, doesn't he? Yeah.
And that doesn't work. And the guy was like sweeping the
and going,
the lock.
Detective,
saying,
you're contaminated the crime scene with his bloody egg.
And then, and this is the weird thing is, there's a tire iron. You know, the sort of Simpsons cop. There's a tire iron. There's no prints on it. And then he batters the egg. Yeah. On the murder weapon.
On the murder weapon, yeah. Tampering with the evidence.
I mean,
it's like
what happened?
Hell are you doing?
I think we found out the villain. It was a chicken.
Yes.
It was a huge chicken.
It was a huge human chicken.
It must have laid an egg.
About this big.
But he is a bit rough and he's all groggy. I think they missed a line out. And they cut it out of the series, which explains it.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I'll have to look into that again.
Oh, I can tell you what it was. It was like as soon as he gets there, because he looks like he hasn't had much sleep. I think the line they cut out was, "Well, you see, I was up all night. Me and Mrs. Columbo,
we were fucking all night.
Well, we were going through the Kama Sutra.
Yeah.
And then we didn't go A to Z.
Yeah.
We did randomly. We started with the cunlings on C.
Oh, absolutely. And you know my wife, she's a very terse woman.
She likes it, yes.
Yeah.
And also, there was a problem. We had a slight problem because we got to S.
Yeah.
And then we got to shit eating.
Yeah. Don't you remember, Sergeant? You were there.
Can I have a coffee?
Yeah.
And I think that's why he asked for orange juice to wash all the shit out of his mouth.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Or just use a tire to clean his teeth.
Why are we talking about Lieutenant Columbo eating out his wife's ass?
Because that's what he implies. Because he looks a mess. He looks like he's like, yeah. After we got through the Kama Sutra, I decided to take my trench coat off, and then
the dog was involved.
Then the phone rang, and when I went to the crime scene, it was like he sleeps on that damn thing.
Did you know, Sergeant, that I actually have my rhythm to when my dog licks his balls?
Yeah, we all sit round with the family.
Yeah, you were there, Sergeant. Don't you remember?
We were all there. You remember the policeman's ball with the dogs?
Yeah.
Well, like, yeah, he gets to the crime scene and he's just trying to eye things up. He doesn't notice anything really wrong. Usually at the crime scene, he normally works something out. But what we go to next is Leonard Nimoy has... Yeah. And this is another thing that doesn't make sense. Well, it kind of makes sense, but he obviously killed the nurse.
Yes, well, yeah, because we see it. Because that's the wonderful thing about Columbo. It's not like a whodunit. It's not like a CSI investigation thing. You know who you know who's done it, how he's done it, the motivation behind doing it.
But how do we get them?
Get them? Yeah, and
it's genius. I think it's better than like other detective shows.
Oh, absolutely. It stands apart from all the rest. But the trouble is, it's all circumstantial, tampered evidence, and so it just wouldn't hold up.
It's covered in eggs.
Exactly. Yeah.
What the hell's going on? Yeah. And coffee and fingerprints of Italian fingerprints all over this damn thing.
So we're looking for a man-sized Italian chicken who likes eating eggs.
But recently read the Kama Sutra.
Yeah.
But there's nothing too obvious at the crime scene that we're aware of. But what we find out is Leonard Nimoy gets back to the hospital, but we also realise he must have done this. He obviously killed a nurse, and this was wasn't like very planned because he was going to kill Dr. Heidman.
Yes, because
she found that
out. Was the original intent, was it? Because technically speaking, he did technically murder Dr. Heidman.
Yeah.
He did because obviously the suit because
slow death.
Slow death, yeah. So that was the original murder, but again, I don't think it's murder until someone dies.
Yeah, but she obviously worked it out straight away because she found the pubes.
Found the pubes, yeah. Found Leonard Nimoy's dyed pubes.
Little note saying, "Call Mac and me."
Yeah, call Mac and me. I did. I
don't know what he's going to do.
I don't. Yeah. Oh God, Mac and me. What a great.
Why call him?
Yeah.
But
I can't do Mac. Mac, hang on.
Oh, I feel like a burger.
Yeah, I want to go to McDonald's now and drink Coke.
So, like, the situation we have then is he must have gone, right, what am I going to do now? I've just hit her with a tire iron.
Yeah.
So he gets the key straight away, and he must have known that she's got a roommate, stayed outside her house.
He must have stayed there pretty much, yeah.
Waiting for the other one to go to work.
Yeah.
Which means most people go to work at 9.
Was her roommate a nurse as well?
No, she was a plastic surgeon that worked at the hospital.
Worked at the hospital, yeah, because that's how it goes. Well,
it's a weird hospital. They've even got monkeys in there.
Because it's LA, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah, everyone's got monkeys in hospitals.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ever been to a hospital without a monkey in the cage?
I mean,
they're everywhere.
When you're dealing with LA, anything goes, really.
Actually, when the opening scene is when Dr. Heidman actually gets off a stretcher and he's actually in the ambulance.
Yeah.
It is the most multicultural waiting room I've ever seen. You've got every nationality is in the waiting room. You've got like, Israelis, Indian, everyone's there, right? I was like, 1973. Fair play.
Fair play, yeah, absolutely. See, the thing is that I didn't see that because I don't see race.
Because you're a racist.
Because I'm a racist, yes.
Of course.
Yes.
It all makes sense.
It all makes sense, yeah, absolutely.
So we got we got a situation now. So he has to mess with her apartment and make it look like there's some kind of someone been looking for drugs. Because this is the thing, he's planning ahead.
Yeah, he's planning ahead, because he hides those vials, doesn't he, underneath the sink, doesn't he?
He must have been up all night thinking about that, which is a very weird thing to think. Because he must have nicked that, I'd imagine, before killing Sharon.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he must have done. Yeah, because he killed Sharon, and because that was in the car park, wasn't it, of the hospital?
Yeah, because
So did he go back
Sharon
into...
was surprised because you haven't got any pointy ears. And
Yeah,
she looks at him like,
yeah.
"Ooh, you're not Spock.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, you haven't been on a 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds.
You're not Mr. Sponge." But yeah, so like, he's obviously planned that to set up the next future
This is
murder.
quite an involved plot, isn't it?
It's a bit too much. I mean, he's a smart person, but he actually worked out who was going to be blamed for her death.
Okay, here you are then, because we are going to go on to the William Shatner episode at some point. Which is your favourite episode? Do you prefer a Stitching Crime, or do you prefer a fade into murder?
I like Stitching Crime for the murderer.
Stitching Crime's murder, yeah.
Because he's evil.
He is it, yeah, absolutely.
Proper evil.
Yeah.
Shatner is kind of a fool, but
yeah.
his ego is so big that you kind of feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
Almost like the way he explains the We'll explain that episode.
We'll get into that, you know. But yeah, I think a Stitching Crime is the better episode.
Yeah, definitely.
But Shatner's episode is the funnier one.
Yeah, I was laughing all the way through
it. Yeah, I mean, it's just not as good. You know,
you can't really laugh at Spock's Leonard's episode.
Dr. Mayfield,
because he ends up. I mean, we were missing parts of the episode. Please watch it. It's a great episode.
It's a great episode. Absolutely. Well, all Columbos are great. I mean, yeah, there are stronger and weaker episodes of Columbo. I would certainly say to anybody out there, if you can, watch the first 7 seasons, seasons 1 to 7. They are absolutely... Now, obviously, after season 7, there was like about a 10-year gap, wasn't there? And then he sort of came back in the sort of mid to late 80s, was it? And then
something... No, it was the 90s, or late 80s.
Yeah, because Billy Connolly was in one of them, wasn't he, as the musician?
He was a composer,
wasn't he? That's right, yeah. And obviously, I mean, Patrick...
Billy Connolly's famous Hollywood career, which no one's ever heard of.
No one have heard of, yeah. And of course, Patrick McGowan was a recurring one. He was there all the way through. Robert Vaughn was a recurring villain as well. He appeared all the way through.
I think Patrick was in every series, wasn't he?
I think he was. Yeah.
I mean, actually, there was 10 seasons, but again, he must have been in most of them.
Patrick McGowan, The Prisoner, sci-fi again. Do you see what I mean? All paths point to the fact that Columbo is actually a sci-fi series. It's got to be.
There is a lot of sci-fi crossover. Yeah. Let's go back to the murder weapon. We've got the tire iron.
Tire iron, that's right, yeah.
We also got the suture.
Suture is a murder weapon. Well,
and then the third one is he drugs up the ex-boyfriend.
He does, doesn't he? That's right. Yeah, to implicate him, doesn't he? Because he was an ex-dope. He was an ex. Was it heroin who he was on? I can't remember. But
I think he had a heroin problem, and then Sharon got him off the heroin.
And I don't know about you, but when you're employing someone, like a petting farm where loads of children are around, it's because you're an ex-dope fiend, are you? Well, come on in.
Come in. Well, I mean, he obviously felt embarrassed about the situation because Columbo brought that up, but his death, it was evil the way. I mean, Leonard Nimoy broke into his apartment pretty easily. Yeah. Hid behind the door. Gave him a little smothering and a needle.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the cameraman got the sort of pink eye vision.
That's right. Yeah. The whirly vision. That's right. Yeah. And the
weird.
And the Klingon music played in the background.
But a bit of a risk though, because I mean, he didn't actually kill him. He just gave him some drugs. That's
right. Yeah. So that's not a murder, but he needed him to implicate him because it was a case of he's still into his heroin. He's on morphine now. And of course it was
actually. Did he die? Did we actually see him die? Because I think he fell down the stairs, didn't he?
Fell down the. Yeah, fell down. No. He fell. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Again, was it Dr. Mayfield's intention to kill him?
See, I don't know. Was it just set him up as a druggie? But surely he would have remembered the bit before he was drugged. I was drugged.
Yeah, this is a heck of a elaborate plot now, isn't it?
And it's a huge risk. He's got to get an alibi for where he was.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's worked out. Columbo works it out pretty fast. That why would a left-handed man?
Yeah. This is another thing as well. Columbo, particularly in the later series, from about 3 or 4 onwards, Columbo knows straight away because of his experience of the previous seasons. He knows who the murderer is right from the start.
It's usually a little clue, and it's that one thing, and he just bumps into the right person. But it's so compelling how he goes about it. It's almost like he's playing with it, playing with his food. You know what I mean? It's like he knows this person's going down, and you've just got a whole hour of him being an idiot, where he knows
absolutely.
you're guilty.
Oh yeah. Just one more thing. Did I fuck my wife in the ass last night? Sergeant, do you remember? You know, it's like, well, what's that got to do with the plot? What's that got to do with anything?
Have you been watching the right episode? It's a Stitch in Crime.
Maybe it's the Pornhub version. I'm not sure.
To our viewer, wherever you are, we do apologise for the outbreak in pornography.
Yes,
but it was a really.
Have I got to do one of my apologies again?
Well, we'll save that for the next episode.
Okay, all right.
But I think we're coming up to half hour. I think that was a really good episode. I give it. I say about 8 out of 10. I think.
I give it 9, mate. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant show. Brilliant, absolutely. Yeah, A Stitch in Crime. Absolutely fantastic.
It's a good performance all round.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed this little insight into A Stitch in Crime.
I've not enjoyed it. It's been.
I've had to sit with you. It's been hell, but thank you for listening. And
thank you, Mr. Townsend.
See you, Tool.
See you. Bye bye.